Welcome along to the media day for the Top Tier Diligence Show, which is taking place on September the 7th from the Brentwood Centre in Essex, live on DAZN. I am now joined by SMITHSON, who is fighting on the card. It was meant to be a head-to-head with your opponent, but he's not here today. How are you feeling ahead of this fight?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Glad to be back on the Top Tier show. Like I've said many times, they're probably the best small hall shows around. So yeah, happy to be back on.
Yeah, you have been on the show before. This one, maybe a bit of an unknown quantity, this fight, because it is his professional debut. So what are you making of it? How are you prepping for it?
Where he's a Queensbury signing, I'm obviously expecting probably the toughest test that I've ever had. So yeah, I'm just training very hard like I should be and expecting a hard fight.
Have you changed anything in training since we last saw you out?
Not necessarily. The last time I got caught with a shot and it was what it was. But yeah, just always training hard anyway, so not changed too much.
And this time round, it's live on DAZN as well. So does that add a little bit of something to it?
Yeah, I think it's probably the biggest platform boxing-wise there is now, and then obviously on a top tier show, which is also good. So the mixture of the two, I'm very excited.
Now, Danny Boardman was meant to be here, so you were meant to be having a sort of head-to-head interview. What were you going to say? What were you prepping to say to him? What were you preparing for?
I'm not really one to sort of talk bad or anything like that. I'd have just took it as it comes. However he would have come at me, I'd have come at him. So he seemed to be fairly respectful. So I would have just been the same. Whatever he gives me, I'll give him.
What fight do you think it's going to be? What kind of fight do you think it's going to be on the 7th of September?
I think he's quite like a fancy, where he's coming from the amateurs, he's quite a fancy like chess match kind of fighter. So I think it's going to be a bit of that and then maybe a bit scrappy at times as well. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a mixture in this fight.
Can the fans look forward to an exciting fight though?
Yeah, definitely. I've not changed my training, but I've changed my mentality a bit. So I'm going to be a lot more aggressive. Last time I didn't really get going. So that's definitely, you're going to see a lot more of that from me this time around.
Are you wanting to put on a good performance so that it then puts you in a good place to get the harder fights? You know, you don't say no to any fight, it seems. So to get harder fights to push on after this.
Yeah, I always want to put on a good performance. Like even winning or last time out, I wasn't happy with the performance at all. So winning or losing, you always want to put on a good performance to show that your stock rises either way. So yeah, I want to put on a great performance either way.
Final prediction for what happens on the 7th of September.
I think it's going to be a tough fight. I'm not deluded. I think it is going to be a hard fight, but I think it is going to be exciting. I don't know. I just think it's going to be an exciting fight. I'm not going to predict a knockout or anything like that because you never know. Anything can happen in boxing. He's going to be a tough fight, and anything can happen.
Brilliant. Well, it's great to have you back on a Top Tier show, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.